Merry Meet Scorpio, Scorpio sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Scorpios, starting today, the 18th of September, 2024. This is Ariel, and today I'm reading with the Stone Visconti Tarot by Lily Stone. This is no longer in print, but in the YouTube description of this video, I have put a link to purchase a different version of the Visconti Tarot that is somewhat similar. I've already purified with this Roger and Gallet Extra Vieille Cologne, very ancient recipe. It's a wonderful substitute for burning smudge, and you can find a link for that in the video description as well. We will see what's in the cards for all you gorgeous Scorpios for the next couple weeks. Starting out with, let's see, what do we have for 9 of wands. I'm very bad at counting, aren't I? 3 of swords. And 9 of wands, 3 of swords, and the devil card. Eesh. Okay. Well, it's been painful for many of you. You're going through some pain, going through some loss. And it's tough. And I'm sorry that you're going through that. So there's all different levels of loss, depending on who's watching. Some of you are going through some serious loss. Death, breakups, divorce, loss of jobs, loss of home, something. Some of them may seem on the surface to the average mind just looking in, maybe not quite as serious, but that doesn't mean they don't hurt. So whatever the loss is, it seems painful for many of you. And you don't want to diminish that pain or I think sometimes what we do to, I don't know, maybe try to make ourselves feel better is like, well, look at the loss that some people have in this world, as if their loss is more important than yours or something, or who am I to feel pain? Don't do that to yourself. If you're feeling it, you're feeling it. And that's just how it is. And it just seems like you're very fatigued. It's like enough already with the loss, enough already with the pain, enough already with all of this, the problems in this world. Yikes, right? And I understand that feeling. And it's not so much that there is a sense of feeling defeated by many of you. But part of it too that is being described here is that your job now isn't necessarily to get rid of the pain or to get rid of the fatigue or to turn things around yourself. It's to not be attached to them in any way. And I know sometimes when I hear that, I think, well, I'm not attached to my pain, but in a way we are. In a way we do get attached to our pain. We get attached to being right about the way certain things transpired. We need to be right about certain experiences. And that's just the ego trying to make you, have a stake in it somewhere. And you don't want to have a stake in this pain. You don't want to have a stake in this loss. You want to recognize it for what it is so that you can ultimately let it go. Ultimately, you have to let it go. And there's no rushing. You don't have to rush. There's nobody's saying don't grieve or don't feel what you're feeling. Absolutely. You go through as much as you need to go through, but don't let the ego take that idea of I got to take things at my own pace. Don't let the ego take that idea and say, therefore, I'm never letting this go. Because that's exactly what the ego wants, is you to be attached to things being a certain way. And a lot of times when I'm in the midst of a loss or some pain, the only thing that gets me through it is recognizing that I have the power to let things be the way they are. I have the power to let things be the way they are, and I can relax into that. I can relax into the fact that things are the way they are. And that if I don't try to change things in the midst of it, I tend to notice that I am lifted out of it. Maybe not right away, but much more quickly than if I'm trying to manage the processing myself. So the idea of not resisting it, not avoiding it, and not, because trying to manage your pain and trying to manage things is a way of resisting it. And that's what the devil card wants you to do. The devil card wants you to manage it, wants you to be attached to it in whatever way you can be. And if you're not just letting it be, not letting it be and letting yourself be in the experience and experience what you're experiencing, but you're trying to manipulate your way through it. You're trying to get rid of it. You're trying to do whatever. It's a type of attachment. And so the message of this reading is that that's why you're so fatigued, is that the fastest way through this is by letting it be what it is and completely experiencing what you're experiencing, right? Turning and facing what you're experiencing, noticing what the sensations are. We just talked about this in the daily reading a minute ago, but it applies here too. What are the sensations that I'm feeling in my body? You know, what if I were to just not judge those sensations for a minute? Just if I just let myself, instead of saying, I'm feeling so angry, I'm feeling so sad, just say, I'm feeling a very hard energy in my abdomen. And rather than saying, it's so painful, just say, and it's an intense experience, and it's an intense sensation that I'm feeling. And you can even say if I were to put a color on it, it looks like a murky indigo color or whatever it is. You know, it's not a pretty color. And I'm going to relax into my experience of this. I'm going to just keep experiencing it and watch it change. Watch it change. And when you do that, when you don't resist it and you just let it be and you don't judge it, you don't label it, you're in a better position for it to process itself very quickly rather than trying to manage it. Because that's what your ego wants this to be, you know, a long-term thing. And it won't be a long-term thing if you don't resist it. Because resistance is attachment. I know that sounds weird, but that's just how it is. Strength card. It's reiterating what we just said. It's basically reiterating every little thing we just said. We'll go through it anyway. Page of Wands. That's nice. And Page of Swords. Not as nice. Okay, this is a tough reading, Scorpio. I'm sorry that you're going through this. It's not that it's all bad, because it's not. Because you're going to well, you know, whatever. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? You're going to be really strong. But it is one of those times in your life where many of you are going through some definite pain and some definite loss, and it's not easy. But it is an opportunity for you not only to rise above the pain, but to identify, because see, what happens is every time we go through something like this, in order to go through it, the ego has to expose itself a little bit. The ego, in order for the ego to really make sure that we're going through it, it has to expose itself a little bit. And use that opportunity. Use that opportunity to do some really deep dives. Since you're going through what you're going through, now is the time, since it's up and exposed, to do some really deep dives so that you can use this opportunity to heal. So that not only by the time, because this will pass, but if you're using this as an opportunity for healing, when it passes, it's going to pass as a win for you rather than just another thing that you had to get through. And this Strength card is very clear about that. That if you're going through this fatigue, if you're going through this pain, if you're going through this attachment, and you're going through, it looks like some misunderstandings too. So this Page of Swords is not only, that's the liar's card, but it's not always lies that are intentional. Now, that may be part of what's going on here, is that you're dealing with somebody lying to you. So if that's the case, then that's part of the mix. But there's other parts of the Page of Swords too that don't have to do with other people, that have to do with you misunderstanding things, mislabeling things, letting your ego use the pain as an opportunity to say, see, you know, it's just like some politician, when something horrible happens, instead of just, you know, banding about, they use it as political capital against their adversaries. That's what the ego does. Rather than using the pain as an opportunity for healing, the ego, of course, isn't interested in that. Uses it to make a case for you about other people or about yourself. You know, the ego doesn't care as long as it's attacking something. It doesn't care if it's attacking other people or if it's attacking you. Ultimately, it's attacking you. That's the ultimate goal of the ego, is to attack you, is to actually destroy you. That's its purpose. The purpose of the ego is to destroy us, because it's the idea of self-destruction, right? So whenever the ego decides to get a hold of something, it's like, yay, how can I use this to destroy? One of the ways that it destroys us is to attack other people. Another way that it destroys us is just to directly attack ourselves. So when you notice that that you might be using whatever you're going through as a means to make a case, either against yourself or against other people. I'm in pain, therefore, ... They're assholes, I'm asshole, whatever it is. You have the opportunity to say, whoa, wait a minute. Ego just exposed itself. I want to look deep within, and I want to get to the bottom of that pattern, so that not only am I going to get through this, which you will, this will pass, but not only are you going to get through this, but you're going to use it in the opposite way that the ego is trying to use it. The ego is trying to use it as a way to help you destroy yourself, whereas the spirit is trying to use it as an opportunity to do some deep healing, so that when you get to the other side of it, you're better off. Not that you had to go through what you went through to be better off, but since you're going through what you're going through, it's saying let's use it for your good, rather than the ego using it as another way to destroy you. Right? So I'm sorry you're going through what you're going through, but let's use this as an opportunity to do some deep dives. You might want to listen to the strength card meditation. It's called Transforming Fears, Problems, and Worries. It's a really good one. Well, I think it's a good one. It's a good process. I don't know if the meditation itself is good, because it's, I don't know. I haven't listened to the meditation as a participant, but I know the process. It's a really good one. The meditation for the Devil card is another really strong process. It's called Breaking Yourself Free from Fear, and that's also, fear is attachment. Attachment and fear are joined at the hip. So some meditations for you. You're going to get through this. This will pass, but let's get through this and use it as an opportunity to be better and to be stronger as a result of it, rather than letting it be something that the ego uses as a weapon against us. All right, I'll be back in another couple weeks for another reading with you, Scorpio. Until then, blessed be.